Why? Okay, let's do all that again. My bad.
Perfect.
Oh God.
Had the mute button on. Good start.
So let me just explain what happened there. Before, literally 5 minutes before we started, I decided we know this sound now. Got it.
It's okay. We're good.
We got it.
Thank you, everyone, for letting us know. So, welcome. Hello. Happy Halloween to you all. Why do we gather at this time of year? The end of October, the beginning of November, the time that most of us now call Halloween, that comes from the Gaelic tradition, and the Gaelic word being Samhain. This is a time where we are in between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. And it's now that we are transitioning from summer into winter. As we all know, if you're in this northern hemisphere, our clocks went back last night. We got an extra hour in bed and it's already dark outside.
Very dark.
So this is a time when all of the harvesting had to be done by now. And we've got a little harvest bounty here with us this evening that's come from our garden, lovingly tended by Steve's mum. We've got a pumpkin, we've got some corn and some little squash as well. And as well as this being a time to bring in all of the harvest for the year, it was a time when herds of livestock had to be slaughtered and salted to last people throughout the winter months. And Samhain, this time, was the time when that killing and preserving would be done in the community. So we can start to see why this time of year is considered a time of change and transition. We're moving from one way of living to another, summer to winter, from a sunlit outdoor life into a period of time where more warmth can be found around the hearth. So, we're going to start this evening off with a song about a calf being led to slaughter. It is a gloomy time, isn't it? So it's quite appropriate. This song was written by Shalom Secunda for a play by Aaron Seitland in the 1940s. It was originally written in Yiddish, but many people know this song because of Joan Baez's version in English, which she released in 1960. That is the version I grew up hearing, and we are going to sing that for you now, and it is called Donna Donna.
Just before we play, I can see someone said we keep freezing, which is a shame. Mm-hmm. Let us know if you're experiencing those things too. I'm not 100% sure what I can do on this side, but hopefully it smooths out. All right.
This is Donna Donna.
Donna,
have to be? Why don't you have wings to fly with, like the swallow so proud and free? Like their vinting God, like drum. So,
oh, yes.
At this time of year, the lighting of bonfires has always been a very important tradition. In Ireland, bonfire and firework night is still on the 31st of October, although in England it's since been moved to the 5th of November. In the 1860s, the Halloween bonfires were still so popular in Scotland that one traveller reported seeing 30 fires lighting up one hillside, all surrounded by a ring of dancing figures. A practice which continued throughout the UK until the First World War. Young people and servants would light brands, and they would run around the fields and hedges of their homes or around parish boundaries with a magic circle of light. Afterwards, ashes from the fires would be scattered onto the fields, and this would protect them for winter months and, of course, also improve the quality of the soil. We've got a few little flame fires alight here this evening, and we're now going to sing for you our original song of our debut album, all about people gathering around an ancient fire amidst the old wind.
All right.
Fire. soaked through golden sands. His blood fell warm unto the Holy Land. Stood on that hill, they watched his final stand. Their piece of heart bled for a piece of heaven.
Holy ground, come to the storm.
Come to the storm. Oh, wind, holy ground, let the fire gather round. Oh, wind, holy ground, come to the storm. Oh, wind, holy ground, let the fire gather round. Oh, wind, holy ground, come to the storm. Oh, wind, holy ground, let the fire gather round. Oh, wind, holy ground, come to the storm.
Old wind, holy
Come light the fire.
Old wind, holy
Come to thy stone. Lovely. So, let me grab my mandolin.
Yay! It seems like okay. Seems like it's working now. Cute is always a great thing to hear. Thank you.
Lovely. So, this time of transition, when normal reality was disturbed, brought an invitation to chaos in communities. People would dress up and impersonate spirits. They would wear masks or veil or blacken their faces. Boundaries between genders were dissolved as boys would dress as girls and women would don men's clothes. And disorder was intensified with very mischievous pranks. Things like ploughs, carts, gates, and other belongings were taken away and thrown into ditches and ponds. Horses were led away and left in other people's fields. And we can see how these activities have led into what we now know as trick or treating. Now, speaking of a bit of chaos and mischief, this next folk song that we have for you, which is a new one for us, you won't have heard us play this before, comes from a very old hospital, asylum in London. Now, have you ever heard someone say, for instance, oh, I did my Christmas shopping last week, it was absolute bedlam. And they use that word bedlam to mean it was crazy. That comes from Bethlehem Royal Hospital, which, situated in London, the original site was where the Imperial War Museum now is, and first opened in the 13th century, and over time it became quite an infamous asylum. And there are many, many stories and plays and songs that reference Bedlam. And this song is taken from a street performance in the 1700s that talks about, as much as you can tell, perhaps it's a couple, Mad Tom of Bedlam and Mad Maudlin, who wants to go and see her Mad Tom of Bedlam, and the rest... Well, you can decide what the rest of it means. That one's up to you. All right. This is Bedlam Boys. I'm going to put my hot water bottle down for this one.
Huh. Ready?
Yeah.
What? Hey. 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 For to see Matt Tom at Bedlam, 10,000 miles I travel. Matt Maudlin goes on dirty toes, for to save her shoes from gravel. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, though they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money.
got souls piping hard, all on this bed of turning. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go there and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. Cut mince pies from children's thighs, with which to feed the fairies. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go there and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. Lights does lightning, would it on me travels guide me? The moon would shake and the stars would quake, wherever they espied me. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, but they all go there and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. And when that I have murdered the man in the moon to a powder, his staff I'll break and his dog I'll shake, and no howl, no demon louder. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, but they all go there and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. Boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, but they all go there and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. Still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go there and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. Whew. Very nice. All right. I realised I asked questions to people, but that was in the very beginning of this when when there was no sound, so you don't know what I said. I asked how are you doing, where are you watching from, and what are you drinking while you do so. And I have another question.
Drinking nothing is also an answer, so please tell us.
I have another question for you. Has anyone been watching on Netflix the new series called The Fall of the House of Usher? It is a drama series, spooky drama series about Edgar Allan Poe's work, The Fall of the House of Usher. And it's very good. I liked it very much, but mind you, fair warning, it is gory and scary, so it is not for the faint-hearted. And while if you don't really need to know too much of the story, but we see this character, Roderick Usher, being haunted by the ghosts of his dead children. And we see them as ghosts in what is actually a very traditional depiction of a ghost, i.e. they just look like a normal everyday person, and they're wearing the clothes that they died in. Up until the 1800s, that is always how ghosts were depicted. They were often in bedclothes or wearing a white sheet because that's what they would have been buried in. Now, in the 1800s, there came picture shows called Phatasmagoria. You may have seen our name for this evening is Samhain Phatasmagoria, and you may be wondering what that is. A phantasmagoria was a type of picture show where images would be projected onto a screen, and they would project images of ghosts. Victorians love to get spooky with things. Because of the nature of this being a projection, those images that people saw were transparent and they were floating. And those picture shows are the reason why, onwards from the 1800s, we started to show ghosts as see-through and floating. All because of that piece of technology. That's something called technological determinism. Now, also in The Fall of the House of Usher, they don't just reference that Edgar Allan Poe work, they reference quite a few of his poems and such, one of them being Annabel Lee. That is a poem that they reference quite a few times. And Annabel Lee is a poem where we hear the narrator talking about his great love for this woman, Annabel Lee. It is a love that the angels were jealous of. And one day, on a stormy night, near their home by the sea, Annabel Lee is taken away by her kinsmen or her brothers, and they bury her in a tomb underneath the sea. It's a relatable story. I know we've all been there. And the narrator of the poem says, "Ha! You thought that could sever my soul from Annabel Lee? No, I shall wait by her grave until I die, and when I die, my soul or my spirit shall wander under the sea around her tomb for evermore, for nothing could separate our souls of our great love." Lots of musicians have set Annabel Lee to music, Stevie Nicks being one of them, but this arrangement that we do is mostly inspired by an arrangement by the contemporary American artist called Sarah Jarosz. So I recommend going and listening to her version as well. Can I have a little A, please? So I can tune.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A bit sharp.
I'm on it. Alright.
Let's do it.
Yes. Okey-dokey.
Awesome.
Annabel Lee.
Let's do it.
Thought did trouble her mind, but to love and be loved by me. We were children both in a kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than a love. I am Annabel Lee. 'Twas a love that the winged angels high coveted her and me. This was the reason long ago in a kingdom by the sea. by the sea, but no maiden's grave could sever my soul from the love she bore for me. For the moon don't beam without a dream of my darling and Lily. For many years I've wandered through this kingdom by the sea. I have laid myself beside the bones of my beautiful Annabelle. And I'll make my bed in the rising tide in a tomb by the Samhain sea. Ooh, Annabelle Lee. All right. Okay. You can have a look through those comments if you like.
All right. Oh. Really interesting history. Broadmoor too. Do you know Broadmoor?
Mm-hmm.
Natalie
Yes,
knows
I do.
these things. I don't. I'm a bit scared. Yeah. But, hello,
There may be
Kizzy.
some connection issues I see. I'm really sorry about that, folks. I'm not sure why
Oh, yes.
that would be, or what we could do about that at this point, other than just to crack on. So, another Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh.
Okay. Another Edgar Allan Poe work that's mentioned a great deal in The Fall of the House of Usher is The Raven. Nevermore, nevermore. The raven is an animal that is greatly associated with Samhain and Halloween and all things dark and spooky. And we have another folk song for you now, all about ravens. So, in English, this would be the story of the two ravens, or the three ravens. But we are going to sing you the Scottish version of this song. But I will tell you what we are going to be singing first in English. So, we meet two ravens who are out one day, out on the glen, feeling a little bit hungry, and one raven says to the other, "What do you fancy having for your tea tonight? Feeling a bit peckish." And the other raven says, "Well, if you look over there, I think you'll see that there is a knight who has been slain and he's lying dead on the grass. And there's only three beings that know he's lying there: his hawk, his hound, and his lady. But his hound has gone off hunting, the hawk has gone to take the fowl back home, and his lady has taken another lover, so she's not bothered where her knight is. She's not going to ask any questions." The ravens are very happy, so they say to each other, "Right, let's go get that knight then. Sit on his flesh as we pick him apart. I'll peck out his bonny blue eyes, and his golden locks of hair will make lovely bedding in our nest to keep us warm. And we'll pick his bones until they lie bare and white on the ground, and over those white bones the wind shall blow forevermore." You may know this version of this song from Steal I Span, because that is the version that I grew up hearing. And this is the Twa Corbies. As I was a-walking o'er the lane, I heard twa corbies macking main, and ta'en the tiller did say, oh, where shall we gang and dine the day, oh, where shall we gang and dine the day? In behind yon old fair dyke, I wot there lies a new slain knight, and naebody kens that he lies there, oh, but his hawk and his hound and his lady fair, oh, his hawk and his hound and his lady fair. His hound is tae the hunting gain, his hawk to fetch the wildfowl hame, his lady's ta'en another mate, oh, so we may mak our dinner sweet, oh, we may mak our dinner sweet. He'll sit on his white house bane, and I'll pike out his bonny blue wing, with many a lock of his golden hair, oh. We'll theek our nest when it grows bare, oh, we'll theek our nest when it grows bare. Many a one for him lies slain, but none shall ken where he is gane, or his white bones where they lie bare, oh. The wind shall blow forevermore, oh, the wind shall blow forevermore.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Oh, lovely. Everyone, oh yes, terribly sorry for the streaming service. I have a, it might be our internet being slow, but I don't know, it seems like, thank you Lana for doing a suggestion, if you put it back a little bit and then maybe it's just the buffering speed. Yes, but we will definitely look into, the problem is I don't actually know what to do about these things when right now. I'll figure it out.
So this time of year is often called a time when the veil is thin. The veil between our world and the other world. A time when spirits and ghosts and ghouls can enter into our lives. But not all spirit wanderers were to be feared, because some are the friendly ghosts of our ancestors, come to pay a visit to their old home as these doors between our worlds are swung open. Now, the Celts have always believed that it is the duty of the living to show their returned ancestors proper respect and hospitality. Many people still keep a shrine to their loved ones in the west wing of their home, and on Samhain will light a candle for those who've passed. This candle serves as a guide to welcome in their ancestors. The family would then sit down to a communal feast in their honour, and upon going to bed would leave some food and drink on the table, and also leave a window open for the spirits to take their turn at the feast. The souls of those without a family home to return to were not forgotten. An offering would be left at the doorstep and windowsill, so they too might have their share. So this is a time to remember our loved ones who have passed on. And we are going to sing you one of, oh, it's so cold. We are going to sing you one of our original songs now, all about losing a loved one and all of those different feelings that can bring up, and also how it can feel a bit more difficult processing those things when we're in the winter months and it's darker and it's colder outside. We can always find a bit of warmth around the fire and warmth in friendship and good company. This is In Darkness Waits. Ooh.
Slow sharp.
Ooh. Very sharp.
That's the cold. Yeah, lovely. In Darkness Waits.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. In darkness waits a sleeping soul. They traveled long ago, but they go no more. In darkness waits a sleeping soul. They traveled far alone, but alone no more. In darkness waits a sleeping soul. They traveled long ago, but they go no more. In darkness waits a sleeping soul. They traveled far alone, but alone no more. And winter storms through the night, you hear the call
out of sight
of ancient tears you cried when you lost before. And in the night you feel them call
out of sight
unto a paradise that is home once more. In darkness sleeps a waiting soul, bound and left behind, changed evermore. In darkness sleeps a waiting soul. Trust what you cannot hold, they wait behind the door. In darkness sleeps a waiting soul, bound and left behind, changed evermore. In darkness sleeps a waiting soul. Trust what you cannot hold, they wait behind the door. And in the night you feel them call unto a paradise that is home once more. And winter storms through the night, you hear the call
out of sight
of ancient tears you cried when you lost before. And in the night you feel the call unto a paradise that is home once more. And in the night you feel them call unto a paradise that is home once more. And winter storms through the night, you hear the call of ancient tears you cried when you lost before. And in the night you feel them call unto a paradise that is home once more. And winter storms through the night, you hear the call of ancient tears you cried when you lost before. And in the night you feel
Oh, thank you for all the lovely comments, everyone. Yeah, in Darkness Ways, really, it's truly coming into its own with the sort of dark months, you know. It's really like, we're sort of looking forward to this time of year for that. Alright, I'm going to play you a song now. Yeah, weirdly, you don't... Oh, to be honest, so I'm going to play you a folk song now, which is one that I've been playing for ages, actually, for a good 2 years. And it's just kind of somber and sad that, and I never really felt it appropriate to really play at any other time, you know, because mainly we were busking and things and playing in summer, so it just didn't, you know, when do you sing a song about a lover who's died, you know? So this song is a folk song called The Trees, They Do Grow High, and when we used to live in a different house, just sort of 5 minutes across the way, this song would always come on the radio while I was still at work, and, you know, I was longing to do Nasty Chapel full time and stuff, and it just really sunk into my head, and then I had to learn it and sing it, and then I never had an excuse to play it until now. So this song's basically just about a person singing about their... There's a lot of people talking the song, but the gist of it is it's someone who marries a lad who's a lot younger than them, and at first they're sort of like thinking it's quite a bad thing, but then they grow quite fond of them, and then sadly they die near the end of it. So see if you can pick all that out. This one is called The Trees, They Do Grow High. Sort of did my own arrangement of it. Oh, the trees, they do grow high, and the leaves, they do grow green, and many's the cold winter night my love and I have seen. On a cold winter's night, my love, you and I alone have been. Oh, my bonny boy is young, but he's growing, growing, growing. Oh, my bonny boy is young, but he's growing. Oh, Father, dear Father, you've done to me much harm, for to go and get me married to one who is so young. For he is only 16 years and I am 21. Oh, my bonny boy is young, but he's growing, growing, growing. Oh, my bonny boy is young, but he's growing. Oh, daughter, dear daughter, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send your love to college for another year or two, and all around his college camp I'll tie a ribbon blue, for to let the maidens know that he is married, 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 to let the ladies know that he is married. Now at the age of 16 he was a married man, at the age of 17, a father to his son, and at the age of 18, the grass grew over him. Cruel death soon put an end to his growing, growing, growing. Cruel I'll sit here and mourn his death until the day I die. And I'll watch o'er his child while he's growing. Growing, I'll watch o'er his child while he's growing.
Thank you, that was lovely.
Oh, thank you.
For sharing that.
Thank you. I love to do
Enjoyed
it.
it very much.
Finally got to play it. Thank you so much, everyone, for bearing witness.
Yeah, so grateful to have this opportunity to share music with you in your homes. I can see watching from Manchester, drinking green tea. Happy to have Nasty Chapel in my house again on a cosy rainy Sunday. Oh, lovely. Bloody lovely.
All right.
Right. So, this invasion of the spirit world and suspension of normal reality that happens and has happened at this time of year brought about a brief period of anarchy and misrule, which gave a community a chance to rebel against the boundaries of social order in a sanctioned way. In some areas, Halloween, or Samhain, became known as Mischief Night, as people gleefully gave full rein to their shadow side. People blackened their faces and trooped through country lanes, bearing carved turnips or mangelwurzels that were carved into death's heads, glowing eerily with a candle placed inside. And that is where we get our tradition that we hold on to today of carving a pumpkin head and putting a candle inside. The pumpkin gives us a bit more room to carve a face into it, doesn't it, as opposed to a turnip, which is a little bit small. But I do think we should bring back the word mangelwurzel, though, because that's a great word to have in anyone's vocabulary, I think. Now, when people would dress up and troop through the country lanes with their lit up mangelwurzels, they would go door to door and they would do a performance for the people of the house. They would sing a song, read a poem, or maybe perform a little play. And in return, if the owner of the house liked what they did, they would give them a little treat. They might give them a bit of cake, a tankard of ale, or a penny to take home with them. This tradition became known as souling. At least at this time of the year, it's souling. And that little piece of fruit cake that you would get given became known as a soul cake. Now, we're going to sing for you now a souling song, a song that was sung on a souling trip, knocking door to door in people's houses. Now, if you would like to give us a little tip this evening, you can chuck a coin into our internet tip jar, otherwise known as our Ko-fi page, which is linked on all of our social medias. If you go into our link tree or on our stories and things, I know some of you have been able to give us a £5 donation as a ticket to this night's live stream to help support us to do this more. Our next live stream will be during Yule. We will be doing a Christmas Yuletide live stream, so keep your eyes peeled for the dates on that. While we now perform for you a souling song known as Soul Cake.
A soul cake. Please, good missus, a soul cake. An apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry. Any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul. 3 for him that made us so. God bless the master of this house, and the mister is so. And all your little children that around your table grow. Likewise your men and maidens, your cattle and your store, and all that dwell within your gates, we wish you 10 times more. A soul cake. Please give missus a soul cake. An apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry. Any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul. 3 for him that made us so. The lanes are very dirty and my shoes are very thin. I've got a little pocket I could put a penny in. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. A soul cake. Please give missus a soul cake. An apple, a pear, a plum, or a cherry. Any good thing to make us merry. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul. 3 for him that made us so. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul. 3 for him that made us so. Yay.
Lovely. All right, speaking of mischief, changing appearances, and fairies. Still want to read this?
Yes, let's go.
Yes, I think you should. Steve is going to read you a Scottish fairy tale of Tam Lin.
Yes. So this, as Natalie said, is the tale of Tam Lin. In Scotland, Scottish fairy tale. This is, I'm just reading everything on the page here. All right. There once was a girl named Janet who used to take a shortcut through the woods of a deserted estate. One evening, while taking this shortcut, she met a man so beautiful and dressed so grandly, she thought he was a fairy prince. They started talking and then flirting all through the night, and Janet went home very well pleased. But a few months later, she realized she was pregnant. All right. Her family told her she had only a couple of options: to get rid of the baby, or to get married. Janet ignored this and went in search of the father of her child. Finding him in the same forest, Janet confronted him. He told her his name was Tam Lin and that he wasn't a fairy but had owned the estate before being captured by the Fae. Upon further inquiry, Tam Lin said he could be freed, but only if Janet grabbed him off his horse and didn't let him go. Janet agreed, and the next night she waited and watched as the fairy royal procession passed. She saw many beautiful courtiers and the fairy queen who had trapped Tam Lin, and finally Tam Lin himself. Leaping from her hiding place, Janet grabbed Tam Lin and held him tight. The fairy queen laughed and proceeded to transform Tam Lin into every animal imaginable, and even a few that were never before seen by Janet. One was Armit, a creature that was part lion, part hippopotamus, and part crocodile, and who ate impure hearts. After hours of this, and just as Janet didn't think she could hold on any longer, the dawn rose, the Fae vanished, and the spell was broken. Janet let go of Tamlin, human and free again, and the two soon wed and had many more children in Tamlin's restored estate. Story of Tamlin.
Don't mess with the Fae unless you're willing to put the work in. And thank you to our wonderful friend Bella, who brought us this book collection of fairy tales, myths and divine stories from around the world. It really is a treasured book. All right, don't we have a treat for you now? A brand new original song of ours that we have not played yet, or at least not at a concert or for an audience. Dual wielding guitars as well. I don't know that you would ever have seen us whack this out before either. This song, it feeds into these last two things that we've heard. This idea of wearing a mask, having to change yourself, be a shapeshifter. This is something that all of us do in the world. We're kind of forced to do it in society to some extent. And this is a song to remind us that while you may feel like your mask is necessary at some times, you have the power to remove your mask, to take it off and set it down, and to really be aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, especially if no one around you is looking. When there's nobody there and you're still wearing your mask, who are you really fooling other than yourself? And this song is called You Are Free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honky tonk. One, two, three.
Shacklebird cries in the dead of night. Weeping willow whispers in a waning light. You are free, if only you would choose to see. You are free, if only you would choose to see. Painted petals glimmer in the morning sun. Lovers light and lilting as they turn to one. You are free, if only you would choose to see. You are free, if only you would choose to see. Painted petals wilting in the evening sun, lost under a cover of their own perception. Who are you fooling there, not even looking? Who are you fooling there, not even looking? Dancing dreamers in a hollow light forgot that you once flew. The more you try to hide yourself, the more I can't see you. But you are free. Who are you fooling there? But choose to see. You are free. Who are you fooling there? But choose to see. Locking logical and rational, eternal sun. Fight for us and die for us, cage your ocean. But you are free, if only see you are free. If only you would choose to see you are free. If only you would choose to see you are free. If only you would choose to see you are free. If only you would choose to see you are free. If only you would choose to see you are free. If only you would choose to see you are free. If only you would choose to see.
Yay.
Lovely. Let us know what you think of that one.
Mm.
Alright. Another one of ours from our album that I'm sure if you're here you know all about, Lost and Found, our debut album that we released in September. And it was last October that we were running the crowdfunding campaign to raise the funds for this album. And last night we went to a Samhain celebration with some friends close to where we live, and we sat around the campfire and we realised that we were with those same people in October 2022 when we got the notification through that we'd been successful with our crowdfunding campaign and we'd got the full amount to record an album. So we just felt really grateful to be able to be back in that same place and really look at the progress that we'd made throughout the year. It's really important to take stock of where you are and where you've come from, because we can be so focused on progression and moving forwards and what's the next thing, what do I want now, what do I get, and we forget to look around and be grateful for the things that this time last year we would have loved to have been in this position. This is the last song on the album, but not the last song tonight. We do have a couple more for you after this one. This one is called The Lamb. I'll just do a little tune as well. Sounding a bit fluffy tonight.
Bit sharp, a little bit sharp.
Sorry, folks, if that's a really obnoxious sound. That's a bit better.
Yeah. Ready?
Yes.
The Lamb.
They traveled through the dark night just to witness. Tempest blew and winds were high, but the cold couldn't take their old hearts. From the darkness came a cry. There she stood with arms extended and a smile played on her lips. As her head hit the pillow of a riverbed, sun bequeathed her last eclipse. It said, my lamb, you're not bad. Take that finger out your temple. They swim to follow up the shore, ignoring open doors. I left you so you never have to fear. It said, my lamb, you're not bad. Take that finger out your temple. They seek to hide behind closed doors, ignoring fears and flaws they run from, so they never have to fear. They wandered through the tangled forest, lost like blind sheep, on a burning quest to know but their hubris led them round in circles. If you cannot see, I cannot show. There they stood with arms extended, and their knees fell to the ground. Your desire, mocking nature of what you seek, nothing's lost, all can be found. It said, my love, you're not bad. Take that finger out your temple. They swim to follow up the shore, ignoring open doors. I left you so you never have to fear. It said, my love, you're not bad. Take that finger out your temple. They seek to hide behind closed doors, ignoring fears and flaws they run from, so they never have to fear. With the blinding light, the veil was lifted. Cautious steps walking them out of their cage. Masked the same, the veil of vain was melted as they looked back across earthly stage. There it stood with arms extended, roots reached down into the land. Blood from hearts that were loving what they couldn't see as they sank into the sand. It said, my love, you're not bad. Take that finger out your temple. They swim to follow up the shore, ignoring open doors. I left you so you never have to fear. It said, my love, you're not bad. Take that finger out your temple. They seek to hide behind closed doors, ignoring fears and flaws they run from, so they never have to fear. And when they found them in the desert, bound and broken, eyes wide open for the very first time, and for their hand reach, take me with you. But birds kept singing, grass grew green under a pale
All right, we've got a couple more tunes for you to send you off this evening. So, this time of year, it is a time when we welcome back the darkness. It's a time that drives us into the arms of restful hibernation. In our modern world, we tend to fight the pull of the darkness. We bring in artificial light. We continue to work at the same pace, running and running until something forces us into stillness. But darkness and rest is a necessity for growth. The Romans wrote of the Celts that they understood their days to begin with the night. Your day starts before you go to sleep. You begin with rest. Just as we spend 9 months in cosy darkness of the womb, nourishing ourselves before we erupt like seedlings out of the earth, fresh and prepared to face the sun. I have a poem for you now that I wrote this time last year to share at another Samhain celebration. A cold wind whistles through the night, and thus have I fled out of sight. You won't find me at break of day. Before work ends, I'll slip away. The darkness now shall have its turn. Held within her arms, you'll yearn for days of productivity. But here you'll find apricity. The warmth of the sun on a winter's day is sweeter than its touch in May. And so we are cocooned in rest, the chicks before they leave the nest, the seedlings held within the earth. 9 moons shall pass before your birth. But hibernation soon will pass. The frost will melt upon the grass. Those who've travelled to the other side shall once again be unified. For only by living through the night can you recognise the light. And once you know my truest form, forevermore I'll keep you warm. For the sun shines light into our day, and the dark moon calls our heart to play.
Lovely.
We've got 2 more songs to finish you off this evening. This next one is appropriate at a time of harvest. It's a story that dates back to Celtic legends of Beowulf, the corn god. Over time, that story was told in Scotland as Alan of the Malt, and in England he became known as John Barleycorn. The story is always the same. We personify the barley crop, and the first half of the song talks about all of the hard work and the things you need to do to tend to the barley crop. And the second half of the song talks about the rewards that we can reap if we put that hard work in. And those rewards have been very important to people on these lands for thousands of years, because it is from barley that we get our ale and beer. This is John Barleycorn.
Come out of the west, their fortunes for to try. And these 3 men, they made a solemn vow John Barleycorn should die. Well, they ploughed, they sowed, they harrowed him in throat clots upon his head. Then these 3 men, they made a solemn vow John Barleycorn was dead.
rode a long, long beard and so became a man. They hired men with the scythe so sharp to cut him off at the knee. Then poor little Johnny Barleycorn they severed most barbarously. They hired men with the sharp pitchforks to pierce into the heart, but the loader he served him much worse than that, for he's bound him to a cart. They wheeled him all around the field, a prisoner to endure. Then poor little Johnny Barleycorn they laid upon the floor. They hired men with the crabtree sticks to cut him skin from bone. Oh, but the miller he served him much worse than that, for he's ground him between two stones. Alright, now get drunk with it. I can make a boy into a man and a man into an ass. Oh, I will change your gold from silver, lass, and your silver into brass. Oh, I can make the hunters hunt the fox without ne'er a hound or horn. And I bring the tinkers into gold, says old John Barleycorn. Here's little Sir John in the nut brown bowl, here's your brandy in a glass. Oh, but little Sir John in the nut brown bowl proved the stronger man at last. For the hunters they can't hunt the fox, not so loudly blow their horn. And the tinkers they get when they peddle snore puffs, the little John Barleycorn. Oh, barley ale is the choicest drink that was ever drunk on land. It can make anyone do miracles by the turning of their hand. Oh, you can sip your brandy in a glass and your whiskey in a can. For Barleycorn and his nut brown ale will prove the stronger man. Oh, Barleycorn and his nut brown ale will prove the stronger man. For Barleycorn and his nut brown ale will prove the stronger man.
Lovely.
All right, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. It's been wonderful to share some time with you. We're going to leave you with a lovely little... I keep calling it a gospel song. I'm not sure if it's a gospel song or whether it's just a hymn. I don't know. You may know it from your school assemblies. And it's got a fantastic message to it, this song does, because we are in this time of darkness now, and it's more important than ever to remember that we have a very special power. We, all of us, have the ability to shine our light into the world, to find joy and peace and love within ourselves, and then shine that out to everybody around us. That is something that every single one of us is capable of doing, and that is what this lovely little song talks about. And that's what we're going to leave you with this evening, to bring a little bit of light into the darkness. So please sing along with us for this lovely tune.
Ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. The light that shines is the light of love. It shines into the darkness from above. It shines on me, and it shines on you, and it just shows what the power of love can do. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Take it. Lost in my mind, I was hiding all the time. But now I see, when I nurture the light in me, it spills out onto everyone that I see. So this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, I'm gonna shine my light both bright and clear. I'm gonna shine my light both far and near. Where there's a dark corner in this land, I'm gonna let my little light shine. So this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Woo. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for our next live stream, which will be a Yuletide wassail Christmas carol festive feast. I couldn't think of another word beginning with F. It will be fantastic. So make sure that you're there. We will post about it on social media.
All right.
Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Bye.